So now we're going to talk about version 9 of our VM backup product that's going to be coming out. And if you're not aware, we do have a virtual machine backup product. So often people are familiar with our 365 backup product. Sometimes they're unaware that we do have a virtual machine backup product that supports Hyper-V and VMware-based virtual machines. So really, this is a powerful and reliable tool. I spent a lot of time in the trenches as a IT professional, and if I put that IT pro hat back on, I'm a little biased, I know, because I work for Hornetsecurity, right? But if I put my IT pro hat back on, our tool really is super easy to use in comparison to some of the other backup applications on the market. So in terms of what we offer, one of the new things that's coming in version 9 is immutability, right? And if you're not familiar with what immutability is the idea that I'm going to write a block of data, and then from then on, no one can change that block. No application, no user, nothing can change that block of data. It's written and done. And what this does is it helps with ransomware situations, right? Because we know how ransomware functions, right? It comes in and it rewrites and encrypts our data. Well, if it can't write that block, it can't do anything to it, right? And so this is an anti-ransomware capability. In terms of other advanced features that are in the suite, we've got augmented inline deduplication. So when you're sending data to the backup location, only the changed blocks go over. We have a lot of other companies in the backup space that send the whole payload over, then they dedupe it on the storage location. No, we only send the stuff that has to go, only the change blocks. We also have some major storage space savings that are coming in V9. We also have WAN optimized replication that's existing in the product already today, and then centralized backup management via a web interface, a control panel. So all very easy to use and really helps you get up and running with your backups quickly. So again, talking about V9, I've kind of already mentioned the big hitter piece of that, right, is the immutability. So a little bit more detail on that. I've already talked about what immutability is, but we are going to be providing that capability using Wasabi and Amazon S3 cloud storage to start. Azure cloud storage will be coming at a later date, soon to follow. From there, other benefits, I kind of already talked about all this, not gonna beat a dead horse here, but like I mentioned, you have tamper-proof backup data. The other key piece here is there are some compliancy requirements coming up in the world now that are starting to require this type of protection with your backups, right? Some insurance companies are starting to require this, and it helps you fulfill those types of compliancy requirements. And again, the key piece here.
Apologies, Andy. Sorry, I'm just saying. I think it's out of date, but I think it's a key point there that the insurance companies are starting to take this seriously. Some went last year, and this year they're starting to look at absolutely more serious involvement from you as a customer. And this immutability is something that they're going to start to ask for, I think, this year. Absolutely.
Definitely, because I think so many of them have gotten knocked on their rear ends, right? I mean, you hear about these astronomical damages in terms of money, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's money at the end of the day. Absolutely, every time. And there have been some huge people hit and hit harder than you'd expect them to have been.
Yep, absolutely. Definitely. So yeah, this definitely helps kind of get out ahead of that requirement. If you want to be insured, which I think we're getting to a world where it's going to be more and more of a requirement. So it's just becoming the cost of doing business, right? And then a couple of other under the hood enhancements to VM backup here with version 9 is we've got some scalability and robustment improvements. Now we've had a request for a while now to make the solution be able to handle larger infrastructure, and we've made a lot of under the hood improvements to help allow for that. So that should help with much larger deployments. All right, so two other key points I want to mention here. I wanted to make sure I mentioned the bottom one specifically is offsite repository data retention can now run concurrently with other operations. So that data retention, repository data retention is an operation that happens on the offsite data storage. That can happen concurrently with other operations now, which before it had to wait until other operations were done. So again, it's just kind of a life improvement, right? In terms of managing your backups.